in this video, I have a saying about giving a rat's ass that's kind of funny. That how can you give a rat's ass? The ass of the rat isn't yours to give, so let the rat keep his ass. Or you can pick up a rat and hand him to somebody else's ass first, and yes, you're giving a rat's ass. And if the other person wants to accept the rat ass first, to give a rat's ass, you're sort of offering up the rat's ass, and it's up to the other person if he wants to accept. So I'll have another saying too, that in some certain things, that if a rat's ass should really be offered or even given about a particular subject. So that's what I say about tolerance to a certain thing. You can say sometimes you give a shit. There's some and I also have a thing where I say there's certain aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck. It's not that I don't give a shit or give a fuck. It's there's some aspects of giving a shit or giving a fuck that I don't give a shit or a fuck about. And at any given time, when and where should a rat's ass be given, or a fuck be given, or a shit be given, or even offered? You know what I mean? Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video. And this time I'm going to talk about another instance, if you will, or style of behavior, comparing style of behaviors, if you will, or comparing attitudes concerning the things I said in other videos, where the left wing and right wing both have their own left wing and right wing, and both sides have an authoritarian side and a relatively decent side, which are decent, articulate people that are easy to get along with. But the authoritarian sides are assholes. Okay, we should start. Oh, and I'm going to talk about the asshole side of each side, what they both have in common, as far as they like to use a saying, you think you're being smart, as soon as they have this attitude that, oh, you think you're being smart, they indicate or outright say that their enforcing class should have the right to do something to you, or whatever. Whether the authoritarian right, the authoritarian right, for example, can be any asshole, as opposed to the people on the right wing that are decent, you work next to, easy to get along with. But the authoritarian side, if you're black or white watching, and I'll tell you about how people the left will put other races in your face too, when I talk about the left. But the authoritarian right, whether you're black or white watching this, as opposed to the relatively decent side that respects you and everything else, the authoritarian side has a tendency to be the asshole. Nothing's ever good enough, and any posture, whether you walk away from them, or if you have any kind of a deadpan reply, or if you kind of question them in any way, scoff at them in any kind of way, mock them any way, or you give them any looks like, or laugh at them if they stick their finger in your face and tell you what you better to do, their side has the tendency to, and their list of biases are not much different than the people on the far left biases, but they have the right to either get some higher boss, fire you, make you destitute, and their enforcing class, they have the tendency to want to call the cops on you for really stupid shit, or if it's not involved calling the cops, they worship police state. And not saying that all police are bad here, but the asshole side of the authoritarian right thinks that you should be arrested just for having your hair too long, walking around with a cocky look on your face, or if some of the decent people on the right wing respect you and like you for whatever reason, they don't care.
you really should be destitute. Matter of fact, some of them are part of what I talk about too. They were part of class as whether they believe in God or not. Not all of them do. Not all of them are conservative. Some of them think they are God, but they have the tendency to be some of the ones that I have mentioned before that are like the dying breed, the old fogey types that if you had long hair and you didn't dress like a nerd, and you walked around like you're too, yeah, and they were part of the certain types of asshole parents, not parents in a good way. The thing that everybody watching this video, they like to use the saying, you don't get smart. They think you're being smart. They'll put their finger in your face and tell you what you better do or what you better and better not say, and there it would usually be a threat of firing or kicking you out of something, or they think 911 is their own private thing that they can sick on people for stupid shit. Like if you fracture their ego involving their authority, they're always big on their authority, and they indicate fear me or else that they would. If they don't like you for stupid shit, they like to see the cops rough you up and throw you in a cage. Or if your hair, you don't have the right hair, you shouldn't even have a job. You should be thrown in a cage or whatever the hell, And they only believe in freedoms and rights for them and not you. You know what I mean? You can argue that some of them are no better than the communists because of their extreme behavior and all that. Well, they're probably fairly decent, right, or easy to get along with. But okay, let's talk about the left and the authoritarian left. And some of your people on the left, like it says, decently care about the poor, and some of us respect each other, whether black or white, and race is a part of it in here too. The left will try to use the race as a weapon and as a tool for fear and for telling you what to do and for a thing to stick their finger in your face and tell you what you better do. But let's start with the relatively decent left, which black or white people that get along and work together and respect each other. Okay, I have repeatedly said before, may have been had a good paying job for many years, but yet, on and off of government handouts or partial or whatever the hell. Decent to get along with. I mean, not even quick-tempered, but they have lines on how much shit you take. To have the tendency to be more articulate, whether black or white, more bees with honey than with vinegar, which is good, the kind of behavior that I recommend, even as rebellious and even as like this as I am. I understand the concept of more bees with vinegar than honey, and not always take things straight into the teeth, right? Some of them have a tendency to be more forgiving, too, you know what I mean? But then the authoritarian left, and this is where these authoritarian left, the assholes come into play. They could be in a workplace or out in the streets, and how they... Oh, by the way, they hate the police, but they want the Mr. King of the Streets to be the enforcing class, and if you get smart, put their finger in your face, don't you get smart, instead of the police, as opposed to a group I talk about that worships police state, these people worship Mr. King of the Streets. Maybe the attitude fist in the air, which actually means down with or death to the police, but power to Mr. King of the Streets, which if you offend them, they have or claim the justified right that if you offend them or get smart with them or give them any looks or you get smart in any kind of way, their enforcing class that they want to sick on you usually be Mr. King of the Streets, not busting on anybody's race or anything. Matter of fact, like I said, can be white people, all white people in a car playing rap music, tattoos, Eminem blasting in there, or or a mixture of white and black. That they have the right to sick on you and have you beat up. But oh no, police brutality is wrong, but these people have the infused right, or the justified right to beat you up if you get smart, and they want to stick their finger in your face and tell you what to think, what not to think. And one of their attitudes too, say if you've got people that are black that work with you that I talk about, they're good or easy to get along with, they indicate that anybody you get along with or friends with that are black, they need that. I'm sarcastically saying that they really believe too that anybody black that are your friends that tolerate you, you get along with. Oh, these black people were wrong. They need to see the error of their ways, and they can be called other names. And if you're black or white doing your own thing, and you don't kiss their ass on, you should be beat up some way or you should be belittled. And they claim they're enforcing class. When they're enforcing class, Mr. King of the Streets does it, or whether you're in a workplace or out in the street, they like to make reference to some name. They make reference to some name, somebody in a loser bar that sells them their drugs, and they have the same mentality as, remember when we were kids in high school, some Mr. King shit, school bully or something that they worship. They'll throw a name in your face that you're supposed to be scared of, and no different than what they have in common with the authoritarian right is they'll both talk down to you and have some enforcing class that they think they can sick on you or threaten to sick on you because maybe you walk away from them and laugh in their face or walk away from them. That they actually think that they have the right to sick some enforcing class on you. You know what I mean? Oh, they both want to talk down. They're both their traits, the authoritarian right or left, to talk down on you. They threaten something. They threaten enforcing class, and they make it clear what your place is, whether you kiss their ass or not. And on the left, you're supposed to kiss their ass. Even to say if you do kiss the ass of the authoritarian left, usually you have to consume, sell, and hang with, or consume and do a minimum amount of drugs and a certain amount of partying. And you're never their equal, even though they talk of equality. Even if you kiss their ass and get graced with hanging with them, they're always up here and you're down there. You're never really their equal. They'll condescendingly talk down to you and you'll be told something that you need to straighten up with if you... and yeah, both sides, the far right or far left, have a tendency to talk down and be condescending. And this is the important part, speak to you like you're a child, or speak to you like you're supposed to be scared of them, or you're supposed to be scared of their enforcing class, and that they have some right. Them or their people have some kind of authority over you, that they have the right to sick their enforcing class on you. And if they have to do that, then you brought that on yourself. You're either acting up or you're being smart. But yet you have the better class of each people, which also has black people in it that, like I said, are easy to get along with. And matter of fact, that there's a part of the left, like I mentioned too, will be accused of being part of the right because if they don't see the error of their ways. The white leftist is also in the authoritarian left. You might have some, like white guys, they're also leftists too, like I said, but they're better than the far leftist. And some of those leftists will indicate, I even had people comment on YouTube on one of my videos that said that they're left and they're sick of the left. You get a part of the right that's too far right that people will say they're sick of the right. What do you do if you don't trust the left or the right? Oh, and I almost wanted to say "and by the way," but if I start saying the words "and by the way," that means I'll have a long ass video. something that I should say for another video. So I'm going to stop right there. You get the basic idea. But I was trying to give you a ballpark idea of when you recognize something authoritarian, where some people say, oh, yeah, they're better than somebody because they're on the right or on the left, then you could be thinking something. You're accused of being leftist by the people on the right. You could be accused by the left of, you could be accused by the left of being on the right or whatever the hell if you're not kissing their ass, and then vice versa. You get what I'm saying. But